WTF. There's the alphabet. Yeah. But they also mean what the football. Yes, it's back. So I've kind of had to tweak things a little for this week because there's a lot happening, especially with the build up to FIFA 17 coming out as well. So what the football is also going to have the Sunderland review in there as well. Not that there's really much to fucking review, to be honest with you, but hey ho, never mind. Right, so first of all, we're going to start with probably the most bizarre result of the weekend, which Newcastle United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. And speaking to a few Newcastle fans that live around here, wow, Jesus. Talk about underperforming or what? Apparently they couldn't string a bloody pass together. I haven't seen any of the highlights yet, but well, let's face it, an own goal. I'm cheating. I'm using a sport app here, so yeah. An own goal, and then Helder Costa for Wolverhampton scoring as well. You know, it's one of those ones where you think, okay, Newcastle, they maybe could go on and, you know, make it 6. You know, they were cruising. You know, 5 in a row and all that crap, and yeah. Well, at least we know one North East team that can still get 6 in a row. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. But yeah, so underperforming, but you know, it was going to happen. It was going to happen. They were going to lose a game eventually at some point in the season. But logically, why don't you do what Middlesbrough do, but get it done now? Lose a few more games and then go on a winning run towards the end of the season. You know, because Middlesbrough made a habit of almost blowing that promotion, didn't they? Even the season they got promoted, they nearly blew that and all. So, but yeah, it's fucking hell. I'm fucking exhausted. Drinking last night and oh god. Hence why I got a cup of coffee. See, it's coffee. Hey, I know it's terrible. Right, so moving on because there's a lot to get through here. So we'll go to the Premier League. So Arsenal, rather unsurprisingly, thumped Hull City 4-1, and let's face it, Arsenal are actually looking like a team that could win the title. I know we said that last season, but you know, to be fair, when you've got the likes of Sanchez and Walcott as well, it's, you know, Walcott's started to peak again, hasn't he? He's really getting into the swing of enjoying his football again. Whereas, you know, the last couple of seasons he's been quite tedious and boring to almost watch. But Leicester obviously beat Burnley 3-0. Man City, can anyone stop Man City? 4-0 against Bournemouth, and 4 different goal scorers. They ended the game with 10 men as well, much like Newcastle did. Again, I haven't seen any of the goals, to be honest. I haven't had the time. I've been that busy this weekend. Has been unreal. They got West. Now this one. Oh my fucking god! It's nice to know there's actually 2 teams that defend worse than Sunderland in the Premier League. One of them is the obvious Stoke City, and the other, well, the fucking other, West Ham. I've never seen a more poor defensive display. I mean, Sunderland, they weren't like a Barcelona style defence yesterday, but Jesus Christ, at least they made an effort. So West Ham, I mean, their defence is in tatters. I don't know how Bilic is going to really repair that damage, because they're just going to keep leaking goals at this rate. They really are. So we're going to move over to Liverpool, but Everton, not Liverpool themselves, Everton. So yeah, you're welcome, Everton. You're welcome. That's all I have to really say about that. Lukaku scoring again. I'm sorry, Middlesbrough fans, but hey, you know, it's one of those things. But yeah, no, I mean, here's a game that Everton, they pretty much dominate from start to finish. So much so that I guarantee, if I'm right here, I'm sure I am right, I don't even think Middlesbrough even managed to get a single shot on target. You know, at least, you know, Sunderland playing a better team against Spurs, at least we still managed to get shots on target, you know. And I don't know, you just feel that Middlesbrough started the season pretty strongly, and, you know, good on them, even beating us. they're starting to dip in form. I mean, Ayala, what Jesus? Because this is some highlights I did see of one of that game, and Ayala was all over the shop. I mean, does he even remember how to defend? He does know what a defender does. I mean, I know Sunderland's defence are bad, and I mean West Ham's are fucking diabolical at the minute. Even Stoke City's in a league of their own actually. So I think it'd be unfair to compare Middlesbrough to Stoke, but he just didn't know what he seemed to be doing. Honestly. So yeah, Everton, they ran away with that. The second half, to be honest, they didn't really bother. The game was won. Middlesbrough were not going to score. I mean, it was an own goal for a start that got Middlesbrough on the score sheet. So, and say that they can't get a shot on target, I mean, it says a lot really, doesn't it? So we're going to move to Sunday now. And the biggest upset and my team of the weekend, it goes to Watford, because it's also the game of the weekend as well. And you know, with Man United, I mean, losing 3 on the bounce, it can be expected, because it happens with big clubs. You know, they can lose games on the bounce. You know, people think they're invincible, they're immortal, and they're clearly not. Watford, I mean, they didn't exactly dominate the game, but they did enough to really close out the game, and you know, they shut out the Manchester United attacks. It was sublime to see. It was, you know, I've never seen defending like it. It was really, well, something to fucking watch. Put it that way, it really was, because I'm still gobsmacked by it, and just the way that they shut Man United down, and the way Man United at times could barely cope with them. It was just like watching Man City again, you know, like last week. It really was. So Crystal Palace humping Stoke. Well, to be honest, I'm not really surprised with that one. I'm surprised that Stoke scored a goal, to be honest with you, but I'm surprised Stoke know where the goal is, because they let enough in their own fucking goal. But yeah, obviously it's apparent that massive dip in form is looking like it's over at Crystal Palace, and they've really started picking up again. It's quite scary, I think, because as a fucking Sunderland fan, I'd like to think you'd all agree. Jesus Christ, we play them next. I really hope we get shit on Pardew Parade. I really fucking do. Yeah, and then that leads us. Oh, before we get on to the Sunday game, Hartlepool managed to keep a clean sheet. They're 17th in the table now. 0-0 draw against Mansfield Town. And I'm going to give Mansfield Town the most bizarre thing, or the most bizarre moment award for this weekend. It's, yeah, because this is so fucked up. You probably think I'm bullshitting, but I'm not. I believe it was Mansfield Town. They were due to have a clairvoyant appear at the stadium, and I'd like to think most of you are going to get this, because there's a few people that haven't. I've had to explain it time and time again. They were due to have a clairvoyant appear at the stadium, but they had to cancel it due to unforeseen circumstances. Unforeseen circumstances. Well, yeah, someone dropped a clanger in there, didn't they? That's for sure. If you don't get it, look at what a clairvoyant is, and then you should understand, okay? So yeah, we're going to go to Tottenham versus Sunderland. So you've got my player of the week and worst player of the week in this one. So player of the week is Son, because Jesus Christ, he dominated on that left-hand side for Spurs all day long. Well, not all day long, because yeah, there's a few way he didn't win, but yeah, he was phenomenal to watch, wasn't he? Even as a Sunderland fan, I got so mesmerised, just the runs he was making. Give him an inch, he'll take it a fucking mile, and that's what he did. It was unbelievable to watch. Almost pipped it to man of the match, but my man of the match goes to Jan Kirchhoff, because fucking Jesus Christ, he is back, isn't he? Throwing himself into tackles, wiping out players, but winning the ball, so the referee has no choice. You know, and the worst player of the weekend, it goes to the goal scorer Harry Kane, I'm afraid, because I have never seen such an awful player. He made Sunderland players look like they were fucking the Lionel Messis of the world. Harry Kane was horrendous to watch. He really was. He didn't know what he was doing half the time. He was on the wings half the time. I'm sorry, that's Pochettino's tactic. Having a striker on the wings, I don't know what he's doing in management, really. Yeah. It's fucking... Oh, Harry Kane on the wings. But, yeah, so... Just one bit of bad defending. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of people really slating the Sunderland defence for it, you know. Mainly Sunderland fans, of course. I mean, I would understand, but this time I've got to say the wrong. Gilabodji snatches to try and clear the ball out. He misses it. It happens. We're going to see it again this season in God knows what game, but you will see it again. I'll put money on that right now. You know, so he snatches at it. He misses it completely. It falls to Harry Kane. Quite frankly, if Harry Kane had missed, then he'd just... How on earth he'd ever put a football shot on again, I do not know. But he banged it away. It was 1-0 Spurs. And they had chance after chance. By far, Sunderland had the better chance in the first half through Jermaine Defoe, who made what looked like a pointless run turn into a chance at the near post. Stephen Pienaar, he only had to smash his laces through it as the ball came in centre of the box. You know, put your laces through it. He went for the tap in. Carl Walker cleared it off the line. It never crossed the line, which was a shame to see. But of course, as always, I've got to give a big bell end. You know where it's going with this one, because to be honest, he really was the referee. What a useless twat you are. And how you send off Januzaj, I don't know how you have the nerve. Half the challenges that the Spurs players were making, you didn't even book them. You don't give Januzaj the most obvious free kick on the edge of the area for Sherpa. It's so fucking obvious as well. There is no way any Spurs fan that watches this video can deny that was never a free kick. A fistful of his shirt and he's stretching it like there's no fucking tomorrow. No, nothing given. Shock horror. It's Sunderland. What do we expect? You know, because we all know the referee standards for the FA have massively dropped. So Januzaj, all he wants is an explanation from the referee and he books him for dissent. It's not on. It really isn't on. And then, yeah, a late challenge for a second yellow card. I can understand the yellow card for the late challenge. It was late. You know, it was a lazy, sloppy challenge. It really was. Much like half his challenges through the game, to be honest with you. Half-hearted and can't really be asked. I'm there for the money, that's it. So fuck him. But, you know, I hope something to appeal against it, because with it being a second yellow, of course, they've got to look at the first one as well. It's not just the incident for the sending off either. So, to be honest with you, he has a right to demand why it wasn't given. The referee just said, you know, and all the referee say, right, there was no foul, that's it, end of. It's as simple as that. Instead, he books him for dissent. He doesn't give any explanation whatsoever. You know, oh, you're still running your mouth. Tell him why. Is it really that hard? Are you really that naive and biased that it's unreal? But, yeah, what can you do? What can you do? I'm not really going to bother picking a moment of the match because I'll let you guys pick that, because there's quite a few to actually choose from, surprisingly, because it was pretty much one-sided game for Spurs, really, wasn't it? And that's pretty much it. Fuck me. God, it's taken a while to get through that lot, hasn't it? Because it's been one of those weekends in the football, isn't it? Oh, God, fucking hell. Weekly summary. So, yeah, let me know what you thought of the weekend's action below. Let me know what you thought of the Sunderland result. I don't think the defender was that bad, to be honest with you. It could have been better, but it's been a whole lot fucking worse, that's for sure. So don't forget, as well, final thing before I go, subscribe to the channel. The vote's still open for FIFA 17. It's still in your hands. And just so you can see it right now, I'm going to go onto Twitter right now. I'm going to go down to it. I'm not going to tell you anything what's happening yet, because it is so fucking close. And I'm going to retweet it, so it goes to the top of the page for you guys. Okay, I'll leave a link in the description below. Don't forget to vote. You know, I've had a few people vote on it, which, you know, a few more than I was expecting. But it's close. It really is close. And then I'm still working on the ways for the players, but we'll discuss that on Wednesday, you know, for signing players. Oh, fuck, it's over, at last. Blimey. It's been one of those weekends, isn't it? It really fucking has. Jesus. I'm going to go rest my voice now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, guys, and I'll see you all on Wednesday for the FIFA video, and I'll do a review / preview on Thursday or Friday for the QPR and Crystal Palace game. No preview for the QPR game though. I might throw something in there on Wednesday, I don't know. We'll have to see. Fuck, I'm busy, I tell you. Bit enough more than I chew here or what? See you later.